Hello and welcome into another So You'd Like to Get Into Gaming. Today's episode is going to be about puzzle games, and all of my recommendations are based on the Switch 2, and they're based on the Switch 2 because at the moment it's currently the best deal to get into, and I've actually waited to be able to upload a bunch of these because I've been recording them for months now, to be able to upload all of these as one bulk upload until, like, basically waiting to know when the Switch price hike was coming, and it's actually going to be September 1st. Nintendo have give a very, very generous notice with this, I think it's safe to say. And I personally recommend the Switch 2 if you want to get into gaming in 2026, because at the moment it's the only one that currently hasn't gone up in price, but it is now going up in price soon. It gives you access to an absolute plethora of games and franchises and genres. You can get almost everything you want on this. At the moment, there's some massive exceptions, like there's no Call of Duty, but people think Call of Duty might be coming. Personally, I'm not a fan of it anyway. There's no Grand Theft Auto 6 or anything. None of the like bigger major things like that will not be here for you. But this is a cheap, affordable device that will allow you to take it on the go. And that's why I'm actually starting with Blueprints as well, the whole taking it on the go. Because when it comes to puzzle games, there's so many different genres. You can get match 3 games, you can get games where you're building lines out, you can get games where you're chipping away at things. Like, just very quickly while this is loading in and I walk around, I'm going to see it. If you get a Switch 2 and you get the Nintendo Switch Online, there's actually 3 games that I can recommend that you get as part of your actual subscription, so you don't even need to pay any extra money for them. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is a cool little walk around platformer, and you're trying to uh, rescue a bunch of mini Mario toys essentially from Donkey Kong, and you have to figure out how to move around the stage. There's obstacles all over the place. There's like springs and spikes and things like that. It's very fun, very cool. It actually got a full remake that's available on the Switch, so if you want to do better graphics, but that costs obviously a lot of money versus the free version. And to be honest, I actually personally think the GBA version is the better game. I really do. There's Pokemon Puzzle League that you can play on the N64. Pokemon Puzzle League is a very weird style of puzzle game. I'm trying to remember how they're actually described. I think it's like a sliding puzzle game. Because basically you get tiles and you have to try to figure out where to go to build combinations and that. It's one that's very easy to start playing, but incredibly difficult to master. You can then also play Mario's Picross on the Super Nintendo app, and Picross is very unique to video games. I don't think I've ever seen it in any other medium because I don't know how you'd be able to do it. Basically, imagine a Sudoku puzzle. Only instead of you like filling in the numbers are actually telling you what block to fill in to start to make a picture, and you basically make a pixelated picture. There are so many Picross games. Like, there's at the point where I think if you played 5 puzzles a day, you'd have enough to do for 10 years of life. There's so many of them available on the Switch. It's unbelievable. If you get into them, then it'll be your jam. There's a company called Jupiter, at least they used to be called Jupiter. I think they might still be called Jupiter, where they make a Picross game pretty much every few months, it seems. But anyway, on to actual Blueprints, which obviously I've just kind of had to exit because I think I've screwed myself while just walking around. Because the whole point is, when you start Blueprints off, it's first person puzzle adventure. And everything and nothing is a clue to you. Because there's going to be stuff that you walk past in this game over and over and over again, and you'll not think anything of it until suddenly you get in the library and you'll find something in the library that will hint, and the hint will suddenly unlock in your mind, oh my god, I've walked past like 7 things like that. Oh, so I now need to be on the lookout for those. It's this kind of cerebral puzzle game. Think of it as an escape room, only it's not an escape room. The whole point of Blueprints is there's a story and you're trying to find a hidden room in a mansion. And every single time you start, you get a layout of the blueprints, and you get doors, and by coming to a door, it gives you randomized rooms, and you have to try to build out, and you have to go through and solve all of these puzzles. It's the sort of thing that will take you months. Like, it can take some people months. It's something that some people drop off at really fast, and I do understand that. This isn't a game for everyone. This is like a full, you need to invest your time into it, and if you like getting stuck, then this is the sort of game for you. You'll be off playing another game and suddenly something will click and you'll race back to Blueprints. This is why I'm so glad it's actually available on the Switch too, because when I finally get into this game fully, I tried it on the PC and I was enjoying it, but I was like, I need to be able to have this with me at any time. I need to be able to take screenshots and take little video snippets, because you can obviously do things like that on the Switch quite easily. I need to be able to save things so that I can go back and look at them later. And the Switch 2, I honestly feel, is the absolute perfect place to play this game. I understand you can do these things on a PC. I truly do. I'm recording this now on a PC, but it's the ease of access, and it's the ability to just do this, and then I can have a notepad with me and write down what screenshot means what, and what video means what, and what I was looking at and what I was thinking of. It's just a match made in heaven, because it is the sort of game that, again, you have to absolutely obsess into, and it is a very slow burn. It's not for everyone. But there's then other games that I would love to be able to show it, but I actually forgot to kind of install it, and I do actually need to record this video today, so instead I'm just going to describe it. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is an absolute delight and a gem, and one of the best beginner places for puzzle games I feel you can actually start with. You're in a diorama. Every single level is a tiny little diorama, and there's a set amount of things that you need to do. You need to find a certain amount of gems in each of the stages, and there's like little objectives that you can do. There's finding a certain amount of coins in each stage. There's finding a little pixelated toad. There's loads of little things that you can do in that game, and every single diorama is its own new thing. And it, on top of the fact that it got a graphics bump on the Switch 2 for free, it looks great, it sounds great, it's so fun, it's so unique, it's so inventive, and it's very child friendly. But I don't mean that as in to say it's hard, like it's easy. It is actually a very difficult game once you start getting into some of the later things, trying to figure out the puzzle solutions and where all of the hidden gems are and everything. It does actually get really difficult, but at the same time, it's very accessible, because it needs to be for kids as well, because it's a Nintendo first party Mario thing. But yeah, there's just an absolute plethora of puzzle games available on your Switch. There's also Box Boy and Box Girl that I do want to show, because this is something that I've been following this franchise since the 3DS, when I think the first one came out, and I absolutely love the little. It's so simple, it's unbelievable, but it's also so inventive. You have a box, and how you move around the world is by adding boxes to yourself and making yourself into little shapes. And this one, if memory serves, has co-op. Obviously, it's got a tail for two there, but I don't think it's just that you're swapping between. I believe that is actually a co-op mode, because I think the one-player mode allows you to swap between. And essentially, I am this little box here, and I'm going to go into what I hope is a level. It's been a while since I've actually played this, and this is where I've just loaded something weird. No, I am on a stage, good. But I am also on the worst thing, because, yeah, my box limit here is 2, and I have to actually remember how to increase my box, because it's not any of the buttons that I actually thought it was. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, essentially, you just grow boxes onto yourself, and you can make yourself into, in other levels, all different shapes and sizes. So you could make yourself into a straight line with a little hook over the end so that you can latch onto something, and that's how you climb a wall. There's so many little unique things. It's just such an absolute simple premise, but at the same time, it's masterful, and it's so cutesy and great, and I love it. It's one of the things that I do like going back to every now and then. Because I've played through so many of them, though, I noticed I dropped off this one. But obviously, you wouldn't be dropping off this one, hopefully, because, oh yeah, and I completely forgot that you can actually throw a box as a mechanic. It's one of those that when I was talking about growing as a box, I kind of forgot that you could also throw your boxes. Right, brain is starting to get a little frazzled, so I'm just instead going to try to walk forward and read through some of the ones that I actually wanted to make sure that I mention. Fez, absolutely amazing platformer, kinda infamous because the creator rage quit social media after some cyberbullying things and everything. It's one of those that I don't think the creator is actually problematic in a sense. It's just that he got very famous very fast and did not handle that fame well and completely crashed out. As far as I'm aware, it wasn't like racist bigotry or anything, but Fez is definitely a great game, albeit even if the creator might not be the best person. Again, I think it was just that the creator crashed out. I don't think they were problematic at all, but if I'm incorrect on that, I apologize. So there's Catherine, which I wanted to mention, which Catherine is a three-dimensional I don't even know how the fucking hell to describe Catherine. Catherine's a trip. You play as a lecherous guy, essentially, who's a cheating dog, and he's dating a woman named Catherine whilst being infatuated with another woman named Catherine whilst being infatuated with another woman named Catherine, and he keeps having nightmares and keeps going into this realm where he has to climb a bunch of boxes, and if he doesn't, he dies. It's a trip. It's something that I've heard a lot of people rave about. I tried playing it. It's kind of okay, but it's not my kind of... Like, I couldn't get past the creepy nature of the whole relationship thing, and the fact that one of the Catherines is very young, if memory serves. I really... It was the story that was putting me off, not the gameplay. Basically, the gameplay itself is sound, but the story is just not for me. Thankfully, a game that doesn't really have a story. Tetris Effect is one of the greatest Tetris games in the history of mankind. I understand a lot of people probably do know exactly what Tetris is, and basically, those who don't, it's a falling block puzzle game where you make different shapes, fall down, and try to arrange lines. Tetris Effect is an absolute experience. It's breathtaking. It's something that will genuinely give you such a good smile. It's a ray of light in a very dark, bleak world, to be honest. Is the easiest way to say it. I know fine well what I'm trying to do here. There we go. And I don't think Lumens... Oh, is it Lumens Arise? Yes, Lumens Arise. I don't think that is available yet on the Switch 2, but if it comes out, then that would also be a great place to go. Snipper Clips, if you want to play something cooperatively, you're basically trying to make shapes out of your character to fit into things, so you snip them into different shapes to be able to make puzzle things. It's very fun, very unique, but it does require multiple people to really get the most out of it. And with that, I think I'm done with the final two on the list is Sushi Strikers, where you're basically making kinds of food. I don't know if we'd consider Overcooked a puzzle game, speaking of food, but I might as well bring up Overcooked here. It's probably the best place, so I'll technically have 3. But then there's also Puzzle Quest, and Puzzle Quest is a game that I got absolutely obsessed with when it was on the PSP, and the fact that it came to the Switch, I was over the moon. I ended off buying it straight away, just to start a relive it, and it's a simple match 3 game where you also are getting a full RPG attached to it. So yeah, there's tons of puzzle games, like way too many, and it's why my brain is completely frazzled here, to the point that I thought, oh, a Box Boy will be the easiest thing to play, because I've played through them, and now I'm kind of getting on with it, but wow, was it a struggle at the start of the video. So yeah, at the end of the day, there's so many great places to start with the Switch 2 that I've probably mentioned too many, so I'm going to say, if you want to spend some money, Tetris Effect is probably the best place to start, because it's a very chill way to get into one of the all-time greats. If you don't want to spend any money, as I say, outside of the actual subscription, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Mario's Picross, and Pokemon Puzzle League, there's other games as well. I think there's a Mean Bean Machine, which is basically a Puyo Puyo game. I think that's available on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis app that you get, and it's a great way to get into Puyo Puyo as well, which if you end off getting into, there's Puyo Puyo and Tetris, but again, these are like branching paths. Until next time though, I've been Sky Fellowship. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day, and I think with this done, I think this is kind of the last genre video that I wanted to do for a while, unless I still haven't got around to doing racing. But yeah, until next time, bye.